Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Arctic Scout truck set, and I think there will be some wildly differing opinions about this out there. I myself am a bit torn on it. The truck itself, the main thing you pay for, is interesting. It's kind of cool. It's basically a reverse half-track. Normally half-tracks have treads in the rear for traction, for forward traction, and then they have rubber tires in the front, pneumatic or semi-pneumatic. This is the exact opposite of that, and I'm okay with it. It's interesting. It's different in an interesting way. They use the narrow wheels. I believe these are the same. I didn't actually check, but I believe these are the same wheels, the same mold that was used for the wheels on the large Creator Expert London bus set. They are narrower than they have traditionally been for that diameter. You see how narrow they are, and yeah, I think the angles are pretty good. The proportions, kind of the stance is pretty good here. The tracks are wider apart than the rear tires are, and I'm good with that. I think that the unadorned Technic lift arms there are a little bit boring relative to the rest of the thing, and also you don't get any articulation with those tracks, so you're not able to drive this over terrain and watch that front wheel go up and down. All of this is completely locked. It also doesn't steer from side to side. I'm okay with that, but at least it does roll just fine front to back. And that is an important thing to call out and to actually celebrate, because a lot of toys throughout history and to this very day that have tank style treads on them do not roll very well. They get caught up, and that's one of the reasons that LEGO itself, on their hard plastic individual link based track sets nowadays, frequently puts in cheater wheels with a rubber wheel down in the middle and a geared mechanism to provide some positive torque to actually positively turn, physically move the treads without just using the friction against the ground. This doesn't use any cheaters, and it works out just fine. And though it does look a little bit plain here where the treads are connected, I feel like a lot of that is offset by the good detailing and interesting shape of the cab of this truck. It has a lot of studs on the side, construction, and to good effect, I think. A few stickers on either side. Those are well placed, I think, and are useful. And then it has a cargo section in the back. It has just a tiny little tailgate that you can turn down and open this up to get this bike out, this ice bike. I'll show you that up more closely. It's one of at least a couple sets that have that exact same bike in there. So you get a little bit of cargo space back here, especially if you don't have the bike in there. Then there's a good amount of space to put stuff. A clip here and a bar, and also an unused jumper up here, so you can attach different things of different shapes. And then the cab itself is not bad. So this entire roof section comes off. I like that shape right there. And then inside, it doesn't carry just one person for a change. So there is just one driver facing forward, and that's a little bit off. Obviously, that steering wheel should be forward right there. My bad on that, but yeah, it will hold a driver facing towards the front, and then it'll hold a passenger facing towards the rear who can do navigation and logistics. I mean, they have a whole computer console there with a display up. Looks like they can actually do some analysis of samples as they come in, so that's actually good, although access to that space is not very good because of this cross member right here. I wish this actually wasn't here at all, or maybe that it was forward a stud or two to make it easier to put a person in there. But at least it will hold two people, and if you don't have that bike back there, you can also put people back here, although they will be exposed to the elements. Overall, I feel like this truck is, like I said, just pretty cool. It's different, has decent play value in terms of what it can carry and the sort of imaginative play that it helps to support. And again, it rolls just fine. That's good. Too bad it doesn't have suspension, but overall, this is pretty proper. The bike uses a new frame for 2018, but the existing motocross fairing piece, the orange piece, is existing. The metallic silver colored stuff is new, and this also has a tread that can turn, but not nearly as well. This suffers from that problem that I mentioned just shortly ago. If you're on a hard surface, it doesn't really want to turn. If you're on like a high pile carpet or something, it'll spin just fine. And it just has that single skid on the front, which is made from a ski or snowshoe piece, and that can articulate up and down. Holds the figure just fine, and yeah, this does its job and has a couple spots where you could add on some other things. So this is useful for custom work, I think, in the future. I believe you can clip things onto the sides of the forks there, but not from the front as well. But this looks good, certainly. And another big deal of this set is the inclusion of the polar bear, sure to be popular. A lot of kids like polar bears from what I've seen in the past, so it's good to get another one here. This one looks pretty good. You know, it's right in line with the usual Lego style, same old bear style in general that they've used for quite a while. Relatively modern head, so it would go up and down, and you can make him rear up like that, so he can be looking at things all the way above him. And this is another thing that just does the trick. It's just right, I believe, for Lego scale. They give that polar bear a place to live also, with a snowbank, ice bank, maybe permafrost bank with some snow over it. But it's just kind of the entrance to a cave, so it's more of a suggestion than anything, kind of a fascia. It looks fine, and it does have enough room to fit the bear in there far enough, but you know, it's not a full cave, so if you want to make that more complete, you need to add your own pieces. And then they have this separate terrain build, which is specifically designed for play and for the mission of the minifigs that are included in this set, and the whole reason that the truck is going out to do some scouting. These represent flares for spots that have been marked for core drilling. They have a coring tool included for one of the figures. It's just a few pieces, but this will actually work with the figures. You can go right up there and get a core sample right out of the ground. A little bit off with my alignment there, but yeah, you push that in and there you go. Pull a core sample right out. See if you find anything inside of it. Looks like there's nothing to see here, but you might be able to do some measurements of old atmospheric gas levels and such, so that's useful. There's another one over here, so I'll go ahead and try to drill that out and pull this one out. That one has one of those printed 1x1 cylinder pieces with the ancient little dragonfly type thing built into it, so it's just a print on one side, and we've seen that before. I think it's in 3 sets now, but yeah, it's a perfectly fine little play feature. You can't get a whole lot of use out of it, but certainly you can start randomizing these things, and you can use that as kind of a template to build some additional spots to sample on your own if you have any extra pieces, or perhaps you want to reuse some of the pieces for this cave. If that's not working for you, kind of expand this out. It's more of a starting point if you ask me, but it's a good one, and the play feature works fine. You know, it doesn't have any serious gimmicks going with it. It's just using Lego pieces as they are. Neither of these looks good from the other side, though. Again, both of them are just really just fascias, so you want to imagine there being a lot more behind these. Here are this set's 3 figures, 2 male, 1 female in the center, and a little bit of variation in color scheme. About the most variation you can get in this theme, going from the dark blue and orangish yellow to the standard, kind of for this theme, dark blue and dark azure, over to the red for the guy doing the documentary over on the far right. And yeah, each of these I think looks pretty good. They look pretty appropriate for what they're doing. The guy on the far left there also has a GPS device, just a handheld GPS device. I guess it could just be a phone, but I'm assuming it would be something a little bit more rugged for extreme temperatures and GPS focused. There's nothing else to be seen in terms of the faces for these, and that is just that. Yeah, I think these are good. Lastly, the set includes a doggy. Just one doggy, a little husky there with an angle kind of neck bracket attachment piece to allow it to actually bring some cargo along itself. It's able to hold on to a single pair of binoculars there, so one of your minifigures can use that. Otherwise, it's just another one of those Huskies that they first introduced back in, what was it, 2014 with the previous City Arctic line. And that does it for the features of this set. So not bad, right? I mean, there are some things that could have been done better in this set for sure, but overall, I mean, as a toy, it's not bad, and it offers a lot of variety for sure. And you know, if you have an imagination, then you can definitely come up with a lot of scenarios for things to do with just the contents of this set, even built just in their default ways without customizing anything, without adding anything of your own. But there is one major place where all of this completely falls apart, and that is here. Are you bleeping kidding me with that $60 US price tag Lego? Seriously? I mean, the price to part ratio is atrocious. It's on a whole other level of bad. But put that aside. Forget about the price to part ratio. Forget about the number of pieces in this set. When I just look at the most important thing to me, which is a rather large and complicated measure of volume of stuff and value of stuff that you get in the set on the whole. No, just no. I would like to see this set at about $45 US, to be honest. I think that would be pretty good. And the prices that I see for other countries, you know, I don't have good context for what is normal in other countries, you know, relative to incomes and such, and what people usually consider to be disposable income and prices of entertainment and whatnot. But the prices don't look good there either. They look especially bad for what I know in the US, or it looks especially bad for what I know in the US. Now, they do offer this option of connecting this up with the also rather expensive Lego Boost system. They just have in the Boost app right now instructions for slowly building up this contraption, which basically works as a forklift. So it's able to lift items off the ground and go forward and back. And that's pretty much it. You know, you just use pieces from this set. There's no easy way to switch back and forth between boosted form and the original, you know, pure form of it. So it's not like it's modular or anything in that way, but you do use some of the assemblies, and it does look a little bit familiar. But you don't really get that much extra value from this, because you can do most of this with the Lego Boost kit just by itself. So yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say, honestly. I mean, it's so far out there that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for this to be on the market at this price, or for anyone to buy it at this price. Obviously, I had to buy it to do this review, but yeah, wait for this to be like 50% off or something, just on principle, because it's ridiculous. What a shame. Not a bad set. Not something that everybody's going to love. Some people will dislike it just based on its design, no matter what its price is. But you add in that price, forget about it. Try again. Sorry. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.